much advice, not too little, has hampered most boxers. In fact, he included his brother in that. Is that a fact, you think?
Yes, in fact, Leon plays a major role in the development of Michael. In fact, they help each other. This is a brotherly love that has made both of them as successful as they've been.
His home is Camden, New Jersey. His career record, 19 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw, scoring 12 KOs along the way. Here he is, the Camden Buzzsaw, the WBC light heavyweight champion of the world, Dwight Braxton. And his adversary in the red corner, he weighed in at 173 pounds. He's wearing white trunks trimmed with black. His home is Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He is a former Olympic gold medal winner in the middleweight division. He remains undefeated, 22 wins, scoring 16 KOs along the way. Here is the WBA light heavyweight champion of the world, Michael Spinks.
Let's take a look at the tail of the tape here. Really little to choose between these two, with the glaring exception, of course, of the height advantage enjoyed by Michael Spinks. Braxton, 4 years the senior of Spinks, but really, so far as experience is concerned, they are just about even. Braxton 19-1-1. Spinks, of course, is 22-0, but Braxton has not lost since 1978. Spinks since 1976. Otherwise, 174 for Braxton, 173 for Spinks. Everything is comparable. Here are the common opponents. Johnny Davis, who we saw a little bit earlier, knocked out by Spinks in the 9th round, and he was the man who beat Braxton. But remember, that was back in '78. Braxton avenged that defeat with a 10-round decision. And then a fellow by the name of Wilburn, whom both men meet. An interesting quote, I think, from Johnny Davis, who said, "My 6-year-old son can beat both of them." Well, either his 6-year-old son is a hell of a fighter, or he is prone to make some misstatements. Larry Hazard will be the referee. Incidentally, the 10-point must rule is the way the fight will be scored. There will be no 3 knockdown rule, no standing 8 count unless the fighter is knocked off his feet or through the ropes. And here is the psychological game in the center of the ring. So what's left then is simply to get on with it. And there's no question as to how this fight will be fought.
There is no perspiration on Dwight Braxton, which means he didn't really warm up in the back. I see a slight perspiration on Michael Spinks. Something could happen in this very first round because both guys are tight. You can feel the intensity of the crowd.
You know, Michael Spinks walking around weight is 200 and Braxton over 190. And the way they're slimmed down and in shape for this fight, it's like 2 bullets ready to barrel out of a gun right at each other.
That is exactly the way Dwight Braxton came at Matthew Saad Muhammad in a fight that you saw on HBO. Right from the opening bell, he was on his chest. Now let's see if he will be tonight or if he will show a little bit more caution. Round 1, beautification fight. Crowd is alive right off the bat here.
Well, just like I stated, but I'm expecting something early in the first round.
And a right hand, and that was the Spinks jinx right there, that overhand right. And it had Braxton backing up for a moment.
Spinks he's aggressive now from the very beginning.
Spinks would like to have Braxton at long range if he can. He also said that he does not want to let himself get on the ropes. Braxton admittedly says, if I get him on the ropes, I will beat him.
That left jab of Michael Spinks will be the key for him to keep Braxton at bay. Instead of that left jab. Braxton has a very good left jab himself. Very stiff. Gets him inside ways that he can do damage.
So far, Braxton has not been able to get inside. He also said that against Saad Muhammad, he lunged a little bit in the first couple rounds until he settled down. Spinks, however, notoriously slow starter.
Well, Spinks has started off very fast this first round, but he's tight. Both fighters are still tight.
Braxton with a right hand and a left hand, and that actually buckled the knees of Michael Spinks. It was a left hand behind the right.
Something's going to happen, I feel, Brad, because they both are throwing bombs the very first round.
Spinks, of course, will have to punch down at Braxton. And that is pretty much the way he likes it. Of course, because of his height, Spinks has to punch down on almost anyone in this weight division.
Well, Spinks can't afford to stand straight up, too erect. Because Braxton comes, he throws that jab to the body, to the head, then he comes with that crushing right hand.
Braxton actually was questioning Spinks' defense. Set another good right hand by Braxton, drives Spinks back to the ropes. That was a slip. And now Spinks hammers it. The first time it was not a punch. Braxton on the ropes now. There's a little bit of undue excitement here. I don't believe that first punch was so hard.
They both are fighting perfect fights here. The strategies are perfect for both fighters. Braxton on the attack. Michael Spinks moving, getting out of the way of danger. Very good round for both fighters.
I started to say, if Braxton was saying that if Spinks fights the fight he's always fought, he is wide open for almost any punch that Braxton would throw. Braxton said, I would be surprised if I never have to hit him in the chin. That's the end of round one, a good one and a very fast-paced one.
We'll take a look at that little flurry in the corner after Braxton slipped. Braxton is covered up very well. Spinks is trying to find him with that uppercut. There you see Braxton sticking his tongue out at Spinks. Braxton not getting much punishment, but all the punches were being landed by Spinks. Here we see it from an overhead view.
Snap it. Lag it out there, baby.
And there's Michael Spinks' corner.
Drop them hands down. Get him up.
Steve, can you get some rosin, Steve? Okay, second down.
Spinks' strategy coming into this fight, according to Eddie Futch, would be not to throw the right hand, to try to make Braxton lead, and to use his left unless he saw a big opening.
Second round, little to choose in a fast-paced first round.
Braxton has that natural defense positioning because he's like a turtle. He can tuck his head inside his shell and protect himself at all times.
And you never really get all of him.
It's very difficult to hit him because of broad shoulders and he gets down very low. And when you go down to meet him, he comes in with that good stiff left jab.
Both these fighters just impeccably conditioned for this fight. There was some talk that conditioning would be a factor. I really do believe both men are in peak condition.
Oh, they're both in excellent shape. And Spinks cannot continue to throw those straight punches. See, the jab is okay, but he'll start bringing some punches under. That uppercut, left and right uppercuts.
Braxton has not been in as close quarters as one might have expected thus far.
I really feel this is a fight that Braxton wants to really work Michael Spinks because Spinks doesn't really start off this fast.
That was a pretty good right hand by Michael Spinks, but it did not do a lot of damage. The crowd will mislead you, really, in some cases. It is a very exuberant crowd, but so far through the first two rounds, it has been exuberant in some cases without cause.
Both fighters have to be careful at all times. For Michael Spinks, he can't throw punches inside then come up with his head straight in. He needs to move away under, slip under. Braxton can't just stand there and can't telegraph his punches because you know there, Spinks comes back.
One of those four punches scored by Michael Spinks. Braxton actually taunting him on the ropes here.
That's the key for Spinks once again. Make Braxton throw it, miss, and then capitalize on it. And that jab is going to do it.
Braxton lunging at Spinks, and again, no damage by either man. That right hand a little bit short, but it did catch Spinks on the nose. There was a good left hand by Braxton.
The power of Dwight Braxton is incredible. Michael Spinks punches very hard, very well. And these guys, I think they're equal in punching power. That's why I still believe it's not going to go the distance.
Now, you won't really find a lot of money ringside here that thinks it will. Braxton continuing to lunge at Michael Spinks, but he really doesn't have much choice.
I don't think he's going past 5, Barry, to be honest with you.
That's the end of the second round.
This is a fierce pace. There's not a moment's let up for either fighter. Let's listen to Dwight Braxton's corner.
Take a deep breath, bro. Breathe it. Take it in. Take it in. Double up your left hand. Only jab it once.
How's everything? Everything okay?
Okay, fellas. You're going at the head a little too much. This is all the time. But you're ripping on them. It's going down.
Feel your body. Take your time. Let's go your body. You know, hurry.
This is all the time. So let's go underneath. Keep your hands high. Okay? Eyes on them all the time. And just wait. That's all you have to do.
Hustle inside.
Working good. Stay alert. Stay off the ropes. Out of the corner.
All right, the advice from Braxton's corner was to throw the jab more often.
And double up on the left hand. So this is the third round. Dwight Braxton on the right of your screen, red trunks. Michael Spinks in the white trunks. No mistaking these two.
I noticed that in that last round, when Braxton was resting, he was breathing very heavily. And he was complaining about a virus that he had. And it could be a factor here.
Although I believe, Larry, if I'm not mistaken, you had a chance to talk with him, and he said he wasn't being bothered by that.
He sounded clear-headed when I spoke to him earlier today and yesterday.
Once again, Braxton a little bit off balance on some of his punches, and that time trying to throw a punch from behind. Braxton's temper getting him a little bit here. Actually, it has been Michael Spinks who on occasion has been accused of using a few tactics that are not worthy of the Marcus of Queensberry.
It will be beneficial for either fighter to maintain his composure. Because a guy that's going to get upset and get frustrated is going to be the very one that's going to burn up unnecessary energy and strength.
Spinks has successfully been able to keep Braxton off him pretty much. Remember, Spinks historically has been stronger in the later rounds.
I don't like the way Spinks throws that jab and fades away with his hands down to his side. Because Braxton has a good sharp left hook, picture perfect left hook. He gets it off very, very fast. And it's a snap to it, so you really don't see it coming.
Spinks has been successful in ducking under that looping right hand that Braxton throws and threw so well against Saad Muhammad.
That's the left kick I was talking about, bro. You see the way it comes out, he snaps it.
That left hook a moment ago landing behind the ear of Michael Spinks. Spinks keeping the jab in the face of Braxton, and while it's not really doing any damage, it is keeping him off him. There's a good right hand by Braxton, and it traps Spinks against the ropes, who spins away.
That left jab of Spinks is keeping Braxton at bay. It's not giving him time to set his punches up.
Yeah, it's not a particularly damaging left hook, but it's just keeping his man off him enough.
But he has to get that jab. Every punch that Spinks throws, he has to get back soon enough. He's snap it back because Braxton's going to come back with something. He's going to counter.
I'd have to think of this as a pretty good round for Michael Spinks. Here's a program reminder from HBO, the World Figure Skating Championships. An exhibition of champions comes your way Tuesday, March 24th, 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central. And I was there with JoJo Starbuck, one of the top professional figure skaters. So you can see the newly crowned 1983 World Champions in a spectacular exhibition from Helsinki, Finland, only right here on HBO.
Convention Hall in Atlantic City. They used to have a great ocean right outside here. Let's take a look at that flurry on the ropes as Braxton tried to get Spinks in trouble, but really has failed. So far, Spinks has used his jab exceedingly well and has stuck to a game plan devised by Eddie Futch. Use his left hand, and not go right hand crazy, which he sometimes has done in the past.
Yeah, Spinks right now appears to be dictating the tempo of the fight. That, of course, is subject to change very quickly.
This is not an easy fight for either fighter. Spinks has to punch down, Braxton to punch up. So their sizes are 3 pounds for both fighters.
That was a short left hook by Spinks a moment ago that did score on the face of Braxton. First time he's thrown that punch in this fight.
You notice that left jab, the consistency of Spinks' left jab is going to always create problems for Braxton.
That hook by Braxton caught Spinks on the gloves, no damage.
Braxton wants to get right into Spinks' chest and work his body, work his head.
But the jab of Spinks has not allowed him to do that. There was a left hand that did score, but Spinks ties up Dwight Braxton immediately.
Well, throughout this fight, Spinks needs to keep that right hand up there. We'll take it from the left jab, from the left hook.
Here's a good right hand, and Braxton was hurt by that. That was a short overhand right.
See, Braxton can't get set. That jab of Michael Spinks is doing wonders for him. Now he's starting to throw the uppercuts.
And as you mentioned, he uses the uppercut to set up the right hand.
Raise that chin up. Those left and right uppercuts will raise the chin up of a shorter fighter.
Spinks for the last round and a half has been very effective. And that jab is scoring consistently now. Left hand by Braxton did get in.
It's just hard to imagine, but Braxton's never had an amateur fight. What he has now is natural ability.
Of course, he spent 11 years in either juvenile detention homes or in prison. He was at Rahway. And he admittedly says, I don't ever want to go back there. Very community-oriented now, as a matter of fact. Doesn't really credit Rahway Prison's boxing system, though, with teaching him the boxing skills. He learned those, he says, after he got out. Meanwhile, Spinks continues to score almost at will right now against Braxton.
Well, see, what Spinks is doing, when he's confusing Braxton, he's throwing jabs, he's bringing his punches under and over. And he doesn't want to be here. He doesn't want to be in the corners or against the ropes with Braxton. He's doing the right thing, keeping the center of the ring.
There's a left hand by Braxton that did get in over the guard of Spinks. Braxton has not been able to follow up, however, so far at the end of the round.
Michael Spinks is fighting an extremely disciplined fight. He's fighting the best opponent he's ever been in the ring with. On other occasions, he's been wild. He's very disciplined.
Bring that left hand back high. Don't drop it low, because you're looking to go over the top of that right hand.
He's not wasting energy.
When he starts to bob and reach, then you've got to go to the body. See, he gets the head too low. You have to go to the body with the left uppercut or the right uppercut.
Yeah, Lee.
Catch it with your arms or get away from it. Get under it.
And when he jabs, catch it, jab right back.
Jab right back.
Okay.
Let you grab a little lower. Just throw your chin down. Short punches when you're inside.
The question right now is if Braxton can keep the pressure on so that Spinks will slow down as the fight goes on. He is being controlled right now.
This is the 5th round. Braxton, I know, cannot be satisfied with how close he's managed to get to Spinks, and it has been Spinks' jab that has consistently kept him off it. Spinks has also successfully managed to keep the fight pretty much in the middle of the ring.
Braxton has a very good left jab, and it's very strong, very stiff, and he too can keep his man off balance without jab.
Eddie Futch in the corner between rounds, you might have heard tell Michael Spinks to go downstairs a little bit more when Braxton's head drops.
You notice there, Braxton threw a right hand to the midsection of Michael Spinks. Those are very good shots, and they take their toll in the later rounds. And you would definitely see a change in a fighter as the rounds progress. If you want to slow a man down, work his body, he will slow down, and also his hands will drop eventually.
Neither man is marked, neither man has really been hurt. Each man was stunned once.
I wonder how long they can keep this pace going, because the first round was a very fast pace. And Michael Spinks is not known for starting off very fast. He was very aggressive the first few rounds.
Well, as Larry Merchant mentioned, neither man has ever met an opponent of the caliber of the man he's in there with tonight. That was a good uppercut.
Those are the punches, Barry, that I was talking about. Those uppercuts. He raises the chin up of the opponent, and he's able to come back with the right hand.
Both men use the uppercut with great regularity. Braxton will even counterpunch with the uppercut occasionally.
The reason that Braxton's having so much trouble with Mike, because Mike is not a stationary target. He's moving. He's using that jab. He's lateral movement side to side. You notice he goes left and he goes right. He's not just going one way.
There was an uppercut and it came behind a left jab. It was a left jab and a right uppercut. Braxton right back on him. And Braxton's going with a combination for what might be the first time tonight.
Well, see, what Spinks doing now, he's letting Braxton get a rhythm going. And you can't do that.
Braxton backs Spinks into the ropes for a moment, but Spinks quickly gets off of there. As Ray Leonard mentioned, he does not want to be there.
Now Spinks needs to double that jab up. He has found his point, and now he's to double up.
And that's the end of the fifth round. Pace slowed a little bit that round. More boxing coming your way on HBO on May the 13th. That's a Friday night, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific. Larry Merchant, Sugar Ray Leonard, and myself will be in Providence, Rhode Island as Marvelous Marvin Hagler defends his world middleweight title for the 7th time against the #1 WBC ranked contender Wilfred Scipion. It's live only on HBO.
All right, let's take a look at an exchange here. This perhaps was Braxton's best moment in the fight so far. A couple of left hands, and he landed a number of left jabs in that round. So far, this fight has become a battle of wills and left hands.
Does it surprise you, Larry Merchant, that Spinks is winning as many of the early rounds as he apparently is?
I'm surprised that he's controlled the pace as well as he has. He's been much cleverer than he's been in other fights, but perhaps that's because he hasn't had to be clever in other fights.
This is the 6th round, and Spinks starts out strongly.
I'm so impressed with Michael Spinks' left jab, the way it gets through there, the accuracy of it, the speed of it.
The esteem of the winner of this fight will raise considerably just by virtue of the fact that whoever is the loser, as we mentioned earlier, will have been the toughest opponent either man has fought. There was a good right hand by Michael Spinks, but Braxton ducks under a barrage and takes a right hand from Braxton, who sticks his tongue out at him.
Braxton uses psychology. You know, he smiles, he sticks his tongue out, and that's just to make the fighter feel he's not hurt. A lot of good punches are thrown by Michael Spinks, and a lot have landed. But Braxton's using psychology now. Both fighters are giving each other opportunities. When Michael Spinks slows down, this is a great opportunity for Braxton to get on the attack. and vice versa.
There was a good left hand in the stomach by Braxton. Braxton said he was going to try to go downstairs with some degree of consistency, and he has done so.
You know, even here, you notice the way that Braxton's carrying that left hand down all the way to his hip.
There's a combination by Braxton, but the left hand caught Spinks largely on the gloves. An uppercut, though, does score.
A lot of those punches are grazing punches, although they're still damaging. And getting back to the point I was trying to make with Braxton's hands down low.
That was a good, solid left hand by Michael Spinks.
Spinks can throw body shots also because his arms are long. He throws very fast punches.
You can see on occasion, even though Braxton does not show any signs of being hurt, that he is literally stopped by one of Spinks' punches. Spinks backhanded him there also.
Braxton is very elusive. I'm impressed with the way he's been dodging a lot of those punches thrown by Michael Spinks.
And Braxton back on him again. But Spinks gets off the ropes very wisely, and they're back in the center of the ring. Both men still appear to be very strong. At the bell.
Let's take a look at Spinks. This is soon after he was hit by a couple of punches by Braxton, and there you see him coming right back. And when we were talking about championship fights between champions, that's what I mean. They refuse to step back. When they are hit, they want to come back immediately and reassert themselves. Here's the same punch from an overhand angle. I would think about now, Ray, that Braxton may be getting a little bit frustrated.
He's frustrated, yes, and I see his signs of fatigue setting in because he's been missing a lot of punches. He's been caught by a lot of punches.
Put it on forward, Lee. Come on, baby.
This is the 7th round. Pace has been very up-tempo almost from the opening bell.
Normally, Braxton is the guy that frustrates a fighter because it's difficult to hit him. And here I think he's being frustrated by Michael Spinks' consistency of that left jab and his movement. Spinks is keeping that left jab working. Braxton cannot set. He can't get inside. He can do this all night long.
Left jab, very effective. Very effective.
It doesn't have to be hard either, Barry. A few taps, just keep it in his eyes.
And that was a great shot right to the kidneys. That was a terrific punch. And Braxton, I believe, is in a little bit of trouble.
That was a great body shot, great kidney punch by Michael Spinks, and it stunned. I thought that it stunned Braxton. But Braxton's always dangerous, just like Michael Spinks, always dangerous. So you're never too sure about these guys.
Spinks right now clearly controlling the fight.
For Braxton, now observe when Spinks throws that left jab out there. He leaves out there a little too long. So a left hook is good for Braxton to throw, or a left hook to the body.
There again, that left jab right in the face consistently of Dwight Braxton.
Braxton needs to time Spinks punches instead of just taking them.
Combination by Spinks, goes on Braxton. Neither man is marked, and in fact, neither man really showing even so much as any puffiness.
Well, the defense of both fighters has been superb. I'm disappointed not to see as many body punches thrown by Braxton because he's staring at head hunting, and sometimes the head won't be there.
There was a good uppercut by Spinks.
You see there, once again, Braxton goes for the head and he misses.
Braxton in this round does look like a frustrated fighter.
That body's going to be there, Barry. Michael Spinks can keep this up all night long. Just pop shots.
Wild right hand by Braxton at the end of the 7th round.
Take a deep breath, Mike. Take a deep breath. Hold it.
Real fast. Take another deep breath and set up straight.
Okay. Let it go. Okay. All right. Take the water.
All right. Here's Spinks, who was beginning to dominate the fight. That was an awfully good right hand to the body. I said earlier, Ray, that
That's all you have to do.
Braxton was part Archie Moore and part Joe Frazier. I think he's going to have to forget the Archie Moore part and come on like Joe Frazier and try to dominate his man physically rather than with his boxing skills.
I definitely agree, Larry. He has to be more prepared. Slowest man down.
This is the 8th round. Braxton comes out of his corner breathing rather heavily. Actually, that shot to the kidneys by Spinks in the last round could have been the best punch of the fight.
That was a great punch to the kidneys by Michael Spinks. Those are the kind of punches that slows an opponent down.
I don't believe that's a knockdown. That was not a knockdown. And Spinks comes right back with another left hook, and again you can just see Braxton be stopped by it. And there's a good right hand by Braxton. That was a good solid shot by Braxton. But Spinks right back with the left hand. That also is a push. And Michael Spinks can only laugh about it. They are calling that a knockdown. I don't believe it was. In all honesty, I do not believe that was a knockdown.
It just happened so fast.
And Braxton is right on his man. I don't even think Braxton thought it was a knockdown.
Well, I'm sure he will accept that.
No question.
Now see, this is where Braxton wants Spinks, against the ropes.
There's a good right hand and counter punch by Braxton. And Braxton back across the ring. Tries to hold Spinks and hit on hold. Now it's Braxton against the ropes. And again, Spinks goes down, and again it is not a knockdown. It's the 3rd time in this round. They called one of them a knockdown.
The ring is not really that steady either. Here in the corner where we're sitting at, the ring is unbalanced, is uneven.
I think what's happening too when they get in close quarters is that Braxton is stepping on Spinks' toe. Not intentionally, but
it's an awkward fight for both fighters, especially inside with all the clinch and hold and wrestling.
right hand a little bit short. That was a good right hand by Braxton.
If Braxton doubles punches up sometimes, go to the body, come back to the head with that same punch. Instead of waiting for one big punch.
All in all, this has been a rather effective round for Braxton. Turns Spinks around and scores with a combination once more.
Now he has become a Joe Frazier. He has become more aggressive. And if he can keep this up, we may see the tables turn. But he has to keep going.
Spinks covering up a little bit here too. And just a little bit of the starch has gone from Michael Spinks. Now that's not to say that it'll last for the rest of the fight. Braxton very definitely the aggressor now, forcing the action, and has Spinks backpedaling.
I see fatigue in both fighters. More so in Michael Spinks.
End of the round, and a very good round for Braxton.
That was Braxton's best round by far. Let's see if we can hear something in the corner. I thought Michael Spinks lost his composure a little bit, got a little wild, and perhaps from fatigue.
All right, buddy, now. Good and clear.
Let's take a look now if we can catch that knockdown. I thought it was a knockdown, Ray. Even though it wasn't a devastating punch, he fell as a result of a punch. He hit him in the... Spinks is an awkward fighter very often and off balance, but as you see, it was a punch that put him down.
He was also standing on his foot.
Well, that helps too.
Come on now.
Shades of Chuck Wepner and Muhammad Ali.
That was a very good round for Braxton. If he can keep it up, stay aggressive.
This is the 9th round. Now let's see if in fact Michael Spinks is tired. He comes out with a left uppercut right at the bell. It is possible that Spinks could have been just pacing himself in that round, and he does pick up the tempo a little bit here to start things.
Well, that wrestling, all that wrestling holding, will tire a fighter out.
Oh, as we said earlier, there's another combination. As now Braxton is brawling a little bit more.
But this is what Braxton needs to do and wants to do. Get inside, work his man, over muscle, outpower his man.
Of the two right now, Ray, I would have to think Braxton is the stronger.
I think presently Braxton seems to have gained his second win a lot sooner than Michael Spinks. Although Michael still has enough power to get Braxton out of there if he should land a good punch. Again, both of these guys are capable of knocking each other out.
There is not as much spring in the legs of Michael Spinks either right now.
Well, you never seen Michael Spinks that aggressive and so early rounds. I don't like what Mike's doing when he runs away. When he runs away, he could be hit by a blinding punch.
Braxton also able to get inside a little bit easier in the last couple of rounds. Certainly in the 8th round, and here a little bit in the 9th. There's a little bit of blood from the nose of Braxton. I don't believe that it would cause him any problem. That was a pretty good right hand by Spinks, but it did not cause Braxton to take a backward step.
You know, another point to bring out, even inside, although Michael Spinks is tall and his arms are longer, he throws very good short punches and powerful punches. Whereas that you would expect a shorter man to be able to throw more punches and do more damage inside.
Spinks to me just seems a step slower right now.
Well, Michael's starting to reach now. He's starting to telegraph his punches. What I'm afraid that Braxton's going to counterpunch with an overhand right while Michael's throwing that left jab out there.
And there was a right hand, just as advertised.
Well, I know I'm talking about too.
And another good right hand as Spinks bounces off the ropes right into it.
Well, Michael can't leave that jab out there too long.
And there's another counter-punching right.
You see what's happening now? He's giving Braxton momentum, and Braxton's going to take charge. He's going to take advantage of this.
That was hook, short left hook, stopped Braxton in his tracks.
Braxton's making, the reason he's getting hit by the left hook is he's going down, he's staying there instead of moving his head a lot more.
Nonetheless, another effective round for Dwight Braxton, I should think.
He's got the second.
We're in Dwight Braxton's corner.
Pull it in and let it out. You're okay. You're okay. That's what I want to know. All I want to know is how you feel. You all right?
How we doing, fellas?
Okay.
Yeah, I can help step on foot.
Yeah, what you're doing though, you're letting the guy off the hook. You're letting him off the hook. You're letting him off the hook. Last round,
You hit him with a couple punches and you stand and you wait for him to recover.
You make him miss.
Pressure on him all the time.
Here we see an overhead shot of the two fighters and the geometry between them, the problem that each poses for the other. And in Braxton's corner, Quenzel McCall is urging him to come on, that he's letting Spinks off the hook. It's obvious that they feel that Spinks is getting tired.
And there is still quite a ways to go. This is the 10th round.
I really didn't expect this fight to go this long.
It becomes a whole different fight now, too.
It is. I mean, they are fighting a different fight altogether, overlooking the fact of the size difference.
Braxton again lunging at Spinks, but doing so with more success than he did in the early rounds.
This is what Braxton also wants. He wants to keep Michael Spinks from running away from him, which could be a very bad mistake on Mike's part because he's running away and he might get hit by a blind punch.
Remember, Dwight Braxton has not gone more than 11 rounds. Now there's a combination and a pretty good uppercut thrown by Spinks, and it really didn't seem to have any effect. Again, there is a little blood from the nostril of Dwight Braxton. Hook caught on the gloves of Michael Spinks.
Mike's going to the body of Braxton sometimes. He's tried the head and you see that Braxton takes a very good punch. He starts working the body sometimes.
This is the 10th round. There has been one knockdown, and that one is an arguable one. That by Braxton.
I can't understand. Braxton throws a good left jab. He gets close, and I don't know why he's holding that right hand back.
Braxton seems, to me at least, to be measuring Spinks a little bit better now. And most of those punches missed.
It's difficult to hit Braxton because he's on his swivel. You know, he slips and slides, he bobs and weaves.
Braxton looking to counterpunch here and doing so effectively.
Now, once again, there should be some body attacks on both fighters. They exerted themselves a great deal that round. Those are the shots.
Caught mostly on the gloves.
One punch was delivered straight up the middle of Braxton. Now those are the kind of punches that do damage.
Give me the sponge. I mean the ice bag.
Give me the uppercut. Stick with the uppercut, Mikey. Very much. Stick with the uppercut. Left uppercut and right uppercut. All right, so right uppercut, Mike.
They're advising Spinks to throw that uppercut. Let's see what he can do with it. There it is. It hadn't done much damage. Both of them are practicing what Archie Moore used to call escapology.
Escapology.
They're a little bit tired, and there are a lot more punches that seem to be missing hitting right now.
Let's go.
The last third of this fight will tell the story of the fight.
We come to the 11th round. Spinks again comes out quickly.
The yelling from Spinks' corner, don't get lazy. And this also happens with fighters. It used to happen to me. I'll get in there and all of a sudden, if fatigue happens to set in, I'll get lazy instead of becoming aggressive. You start laying back too long.
There was a left hand that did manage to get in, but that was really the only one of that flurry that did.
That was a beautiful combination. Double left jab and right hand.
And another right hand with a left hand behind it.
And see now, this is once again, Spinks should keep going. You should keep this attack going. Because when you hurt a fighter, hit a fighter with a series of punches, what happens? You discourage him. But you give him time to regroup, he comes back just as mean, just as fierce.
And again, Michael Spinks scoring effectively on Dwight Braxton now. Long right hand.
Now you may see Braxton come on the attack because I think he feels that Spinks has punched himself out.
This has been a very up-tempo round for Michael Spinks.
That was a good attempt by Spinks. He threw an overhand right, lead-off right.
And there's a combination by Braxton. It was a counter-punching right hand that set it up. Spinks is in trouble. Back to the ropes. Tries to fight his way out. Takes another right hand and a left hand up on his shoulder.
You see what happens, Barry? All of a sudden, Braxton retaliates. He comes back very strong. He waits, he comes on strong.
And right now, Michael Spinks is on his bicycle. Telegraphed that punch, aimed it, and aimed that one also.
Braxton seems to be waiting for an overhand right. It seems as though he's trying to set up, but Spinks won't cooperate. He won't stay stationary.
And that is the end of the 11th round. This then is as far as Dwight Braxton has ever gone in a boxing ring.
Coaching this guy, let him go back. And he's getting his sign. He's giving you a sign. Cut him off. Okay. I want you to cut him off. Don't follow him. Cut him off. Okay?
There you see Braxton trying to draw Spinks into leading so that he can retaliate, bringing him into range. That was the best flurry of the round, and Spinks did a lot of fleeing in that round, and I don't know honestly how you score it. When a fighter is running that much, some officials will score it by the fighter who is dictating the tempo.
I want you punching back.
On my scorecard, gentlemen, I have Spinks well ahead, 6 rounds to 3 and 2 even.
In which case, Dwight Braxton would really have to get getting if he was going to pull this fight out. And Braxton literally chasing Spinks around the ring. He hasn't really caught him yet.
Well, this proves one thing. Michael Spinks is fast on his feet also. And by being so tall, it's difficult for Braxton to really get it close to land some big telling blows. Another good punch for Braxton, throws a stiff left jab straight to the midsection.
Braxton has been headhunting, really, as you mentioned, Ray, a lot more than I expected he would. Good shot by Spinks coming off the ropes.
Look at Spinks' hands. His hands dropping to his side now. So he's vulnerable for a left hook. If this is a good sharp one, it has to be very sharp.
Still a little bit of blood for the nose of Dwight Braxton. There was a good shot by Spinks.
Now Spinks has become a technician. He's bringing his punches under and over now. He works his jab to the head. He turns it into an uppercut. And he tries to set his man up for the right hand.
You know, it's interesting. We were talking about the fact that if there was any criticism of Michael Spinks at all, it was that he didn't listen to advice. So far, he has followed every word that I've heard in his corner.
And watch the way, Barry. Once again, Barry, I hate to be redundant, but this is what the point I'm trying to bring out. The way Spinks is throwing that jab, and then all of a sudden he turns his left jab into a left hook or to a left uppercut.
Spinks being the tactician, Braxton is stalking him.
Braxton just wants to land one big punch to slow Michael Spinks down. But as long as Spinks keeps that left jab coming like that, sticking out, he'll be okay.
Left jab has been more effective in this round than it has in the last 4 or 5.
You can't bring it back too slow. The jab has to come back very fast and straight back up to his chin.
And it's very effective right now. Very effective.
Now he's really doing a boxing job on Dwight Braxton. Utilizing the whole ring.
And he took a right hand and he gets out of there. Braxton is right on him. Braxton just can't come up with the punch that he needs though. Spinks covers up, takes a right hand at the bell.
Braxton won the last 10 seconds of the round, but Spinks won the first 2 minutes and 50 seconds. And now we might be getting to desperation time. Let's listen to the corners.
I want you to do the same thing I want you to do in the ring. Okay? You put your punches together, not one shot. You can't hit this guy. You may hit him with one shot, but you're not putting anything behind. I want both hands work. All right? From here on in, I want you to chase this guy. I want you to make him run faster than he want to run.
You're not moving your feet, cut him off. You're just walking to him very slowly. You're giving him time to get himself up.
What you're seeing at the end of that round is what Quenzel McCall has just told Braxton he has to do for 3 minutes of the last 3 rounds.
Round 13. It has been a good, intelligently fought fight. Particularly on the part of Michael Spinks, who has been more effective with his strategy than Dwight Braxton has with his.
You know, normally Michael Spinks wears a knee brace on his left knee.
They hurt his knee running back in 1979, and he did it running on concrete in Army boots, and as his physician said, something had to give, and it wasn't going to be the concrete, and it wasn't going to be the boots. There's a good shot by Braxton.
That was a beautiful shot by Dwight Braxton. Those are the very same punches that Braxton should have been throwing in the early rounds, because they take their toll in the late rounds.
Braxton's corner, you heard, advising him to stay after him and throw punches in combination, which they say he had not been doing. Easier said than done, however, against the guy who was fighting the type of fight that Michael Spinks is tonight.
A good punch to throw also against a tall fighter is jab to the body and right hand to the chin. That jab to the body brings the opponent's eyes down or folds him up temporarily, and the right hand normally lands. Mine's always did.
Braxton appears to me to be perhaps a step slower in this round. Good counter punch by Spinks, and that actually buckled the legs of Braxton, who goes against the ropes. There was a right hand and a left behind it.
I feel Spinks is fighting a very intelligent fight, because he gets Braxton in trouble, but you never really know how serious trouble he's in, because he comes back all of a sudden. So the key thing he's doing now is working that left jab, just building up points. You see there how Braxton retaliates.
Good sharp left hook, but again it was one punch.
Braxton now is chasing Michael around the ring instead of cutting the ring off. He needs to cut the ring in half instead of following as a man around the ring.
Another left hook, and it was a good left hook, but again, it was solo.
Spinks' left jab is starting to sink again. It's starting to go down to the side. He's vulnerable for a right hand, if Dwight should throw it.
End of the round, and Dwight Braxton is running out of time.
Past several rounds. If you let him get a few punches, then you don't come back. You know what I mean?
at him. You getting there and you're staying there and not throwing any punch. I want you ripping underneath. All right? Now let's get into
How's your juice?
and
How do you feel? You got any zip? You only got 2 more. Let's put it together. Shit.
Now we gotta go out and do it.
That's right.
Shit out of here.
And throw a bunch of them. Just keep jabbing and hooking and looking for your other shots off the jab and hook.
Braxton needs a knockout to win this fight.
There's a good left hand by Spinks. As Braxton came right at him, and Spinks sat back and waited for him.
Braxton's going to try to. He's coming straight at Michael Spinks. I think what he wants to do, Barry, is make Spinks exchange punches with him. Till he can come out on top.
You heard, I believe, it was Wesley Mouzon in the corner of Dwight Braxton between rounds. Say, have you got any zip left? Braxton nodded his head yes.
Again, notice Spinks' hands are down to the side. And see now, all those Spinks is comfortably ahead. In my book, he can't afford to do it in the late round. A guy, what happens with a fighter, he gets a nice lead, all of a sudden he gets too lazy and too relaxed. And see, Braxton at this point now, he's desperate.
Spinks fighting what I would consider to be a very intelligent fight so far. Going to the offense when he has to, not being careless, keeping the jab in the face of Braxton when he has to, particularly so in the early rounds. Braxton found the right hand, scored to the left, catches Spinks coming off the ropes with another left, and Spinks is a little bit wobbly. Braxton trying to get right on top of him here, but Spinks gets out of it.
This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for Braxton. He needs to take advantage of it. He had Spinks a little trouble, and now he's letting him get away. Spinks will probably be able to regroup and come back.
Spinks trying to stay out of harm's way here. Both those punches missed by Braxton.
Spinks is doing the right thing, Brian. He's just trying to clear his head, and the way he's clearing his head is keep moving or running and throwing that left jab off. Braxton once again should cut the ring off. He's following his man around the ring.
Spinks missed and Braxton did catch him with the right hand. It didn't seem to be that strong a punch.
Fatigue is definitely setting with Michael. You look at his hands down to the side.
Now Spinks fighting on guts right now, pretty much.
Guts and experience. He knows what he's doing. Sometimes your body just don't want to do it. Right then and there.
And again, Spinks bounces off the ropes, takes the left hand, but again, it wasn't a great left hand. And the right hand is short, and Spinks ties him up.
Braxton's still trying to land that head shot, and it won't just come that easy.
You got 3 minutes to go, Mike. So, 3 minutes. Also, 3 minutes. Keep your hands up. Keep popping. Get you when counter punches coming in.
You got 3 minutes, baby.
He'll be
3.
Eddie, keep that on his feet.
Spin up the middle. That's what you're gonna have to do this round. Just walk right through him. Pull your chin out of the air. Get through him.
Gotta get to him quick. You can't get to him in slow motion.
Okay? No rush at it.
Everything going right for you?
Everything's fine.
This is the last round. Okay, fellas, come on.
Don't run at him now, but I want you to get to him. Skip to him. Skip to him.
jab.
He ain't got it.
Yeah.
Okay. No, he ain't got it.
All right.
Don't take no chance.
Don't count. No, I don't got it. Let me see some shoes.
Final 3 minutes, the crowd on its feet chanting, Michael, Michael, Michael. They feel their man has won the fight. Dwight Braxton literally has 3 minutes to knock his man out.
And Braxton, he's aware of that too. He can feel that. Fighting can sense when he's losing.
And Spinks on the offense actually early on here. Braxton Braxton stalking his man. Spinks a little bit rejuvenated here, and that could just be sheer adrenaline.
Spinks is still trying to nail Braxton with one shot. He should just continue to use that left jab. Keep his points going. If the opportunity comes, take advantage of it. But he shouldn't try to look for a knockout. But always a knockout is always the safest decision.
And another side of this house chanting QAWI, 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 Muhammad QAWI, of course the Islamic name of Dwight Braxton.
It's been a very technical and very strategic fight by Michael Spinks. Using the ring, using his all his physical attributes, his height, his reach, speed. I'm very impressed with him, bro.
Fought an excellent fight.
Once again, I'm still waiting for that right hand, and then he just attempted to land it. The overhand right of Dwight Braxton. He has Spinks' hands down inside. He should try to throw it more often.
Braxton stalking Spinks as he has the entire fight. Crowd on its feet in appreciation here. Braxton still unable to find him. The left hand over the head of Michael Spinks. And Dwight Braxton is running out of time.
He doesn't have that much time, Barry. And then here, a fight gets very, very desperate. This is the best time to frustrate a fighter. When time is running out and you know your head on points and he knows he's behind, Spinks doing the right thing, just boxing.
Spinks still on his bicycle, trying to stay in the middle of the ring. It would appear that that would be all he would have to do to win this fight.
And he's doing a good job.
You can see how much time Dwight Braxton has left, 23 seconds. Still trying to get his man on the ropes in the corner. He has said, if I get in there, I'll win the fight. Well, he has about 15 seconds left to prove his point. There was a good left hand by Spinks. And Braxton finally gets Spinks into the corner, but it is a case of too little and very likely too late. It was a tremendously fought 15 rounds by both men. And you're seeing a very tired Michael Spinks. Likely too late. It was a tremendously fought 15 rounds by both men. And you're seeing a very tired Michael Spinks being hoisted aloft in apparent victory. But I'll tell you, I've been around this game long enough, and I have seen stranger things happen.
Yes, but I tell you, this was a very impressive fight by both fighters, and I like what Spinks did for a very strategic fight. Very intelligent fight.
I think it's safe to say really that both fighters did exactly what they had to do. It was just a case of one man obviously doing it a little bit better than the other.
That's true. Spinks did enough to keep Braxton off balance, never gave him a chance to set up. Braxton tried to get inside, tried to stay close to Spinks. Spinks was more mobile than I've ever seen him before.
What would you say the difference in the fight was? Was it the left jab of Michael Spinks in the middle rounds?
The jab was the key to the fight for Michael Spinks. He kept that left jab in Braxton's face, maintained Braxton in the center of the ring, and Braxton had a difficult time trying to corner and get Spinks against the ropes.
Both these fighters, very tired combatants at this juncture. Hindsight, of course, a very easy thing, but if you had to do it over, you mentioned on a couple of occasions that Dwight Braxton headhunted perhaps a little bit too much.
He headhunted too soon and too much, Barry. If he had started off sooner, to the body, work his way in, use his jab, because Braxton has a very good stiff left jab. He should have used his jab a lot more than he did. But you learn by your mistakes.
Did it surprise you at all that Michael Spinks controlled the early rounds as much as he did? Spinks is a guy who, his history has been that from about round 6 on, he's controlled the fight, but here really, he won it in the early rounds.
I was very impressed and very surprised, because normally Michael Spinks takes a nonchalant, very relaxed attitude towards the first 3, 4, 5 rounds. Then he comes on strong in the later rounds to knock you out. But this time, he started off very, very aggressive, and he maintained it. He kept his pace going, and he fought a very impressive fight.
Both fighters superbly conditioned.
They had to be. The pace was fast from the very first round. And for light heavyweights, that's very unusual.
So we await the official decision here, which we will have momentarily. Obviously, in Michael Spinks' corner, as you can see, they figure their man has won, as we do also. But As I mentioned, I've seen stranger things happen.
Yes, but you know, Barry, one thing I noticed, you don't see the chaos in the ring. Normally it becomes hectic, but I'm sure that the crowd realizes and they accept the fact that Michael Spinks should get the decision.
It was really hard to pick as Michael Spinks' daughter comes into the ring, and I'm sure you're going to be able to see her. I'm sure she will get into the arms of Daddy. You know the story of the tragedies that have befallen Michael Spinks since the first of the year, where his common-law wife, Sandra Massey, was killed in an automobile accident that back in January. Michael Spinks has really had a lot more on his mind over and above this fight, I'm quite sure.
Just the emotional shock and trauma that he's dealt with, even though he had to go in here and dealt with a guy of the caliber of Dwight Braxton. You know, I take my hat off to Michael Spinks. I mean, he went through a lot, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and he came out on top.
And there is Michael Spinks and his daughter, Michelle, I believe is her name. And he is a very happy man. Michelle at 2 years old, I'm sure will have to be reminded of the emotions of this moment, but I'm sure the man holding her feels an awful lot of emotion right now. Trying to get the ring clear so that they can get the official decision, and I'm not sure that that is ever going to happen here. We, of course, will be talking with both the winner and the loser. Right now, let's go up to the ring announcer for the official announcement. Still a discussion going on.
Clear the ring, please. Please clear the ring.
Let's clear the ring. Nelson, can you get them guys out of here?
Please clear the ring.
Clear the ring. Clear everybody back. Clear everybody back. Clear everybody.
Let's clear the ring, please.
I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't see no one.
Done. Done. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the scoring of the officials. Referee Tony Perez scores about 144, 141. Judge Frank Cappuccino scores about 144, 141. And Judge Tony Castellano scores about 144, 140. The winner by unanimous decision, still undefeated, and the undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world, Michael Spinks. Michael Spinks.
Well, there you have the official verdict, and as we mentioned, Ray, I've seen stranger things happen. That was a lot closer than you or Larry and I saw this fight.
I'm so surprised the fact the fight was that close. The fight was not that close in my book. Although a very good fight by both fighters. I mean, they fought a very, very impressive fight.
So the referee and one of the judges scoring a 144, 141. That is quite close. And Tony Castellano, the other judge, scoring a 144, 140. So the judge is consistent at least, but seeing it as a lot closer situation than we here at HBO did. Nonetheless, the winner is, as we discussed, and that is Michael Spinks, who remains undefeated at 23-0 now.